Today's quest is to see if we can't make that fit this. Now I've made a kind of like little means of measuring around the edge. That's going to be an awful lot to power file away. So I'm wondering whether I could perhaps make a jig to fit on here that would run round here. It would have to be based on this edge and this top, because on the inside there are these handles. So if I made a jig to go around the inside, it wouldn't work. So from the top and the side, then to hold the plasma cutter in the right place and then just run round. This will be a test of my engineering, or even engineering prowess or lack of. I made a jig to cut this out, but that went on the central spigot and then it was just like a piece of wood, so there's nothing to work on in the center. So right, let's see. Might have to move. That's for the sight glass. I can easily take that off. Oh yes, don't know. Let's see where we go with this one then, boys and girls. So now I'm wondering, have I been a bit over generous with that? And could I get away with, I think I might just try running the power file around it, which is like a little Black & Decker sanding thing. I've got this out, and the idea was to put a jig there and then run it round like that, or even perhaps try it freehand, but I'm a clumsy fucker and I'm not sure I really want to have a go at that. Whereas if I can just take the edge off this a little bit with the power file, I think I'm going to try that first before causing too much mayhem and damage. Oh, this is the power file, and was going pretty well until it kept breaking belts. I'm not sure why it kept breaking belts. So I don't know. What I'm going to do is go up a notch and use an angle grinder. I reckon if I can just very gently go round with the angle grinder, I should be able to take it back enough and then just finish it off a little bit with the power file. Oh, right, that's good. See if we can do it before that cloud gets in, shall we? Yeah. There is no doubting that the power file is a very, very useful object. Tool, even. Nowhere near as useful as a big fuck off serious Makita angle grinder, because we have biggered up the oil the oil in bucket, which is pretty good. I'm going to open it up a little bit further on a couple of areas, but how good was that? Unfortunately, it's going to take a bit of cleaning. But I don't mind. We have a bigger L. It'll need finishing nicely because it's pretty fucking rough at the moment, look. So I'll get a file on there. Might even use the power file. But I'm going to open it up a little bit more first. But yeah, pleased with that so far. Let's see how we go. Now, here's an interesting little dilemma. Not dilemma. Question then. Sort of dilemma as well. As we're told that the SARS virus, COVID-19 virus, is aerosol communicated. In other words, just kind of like in the air, not necessarily, you don't have to gob on someone in order to pass it on, so it can just be passed in the air through breathing and talking. The guy down there, as he was walking past on the towpath, was smoking, And I can even tell you what tobacco it was, because I recognise the smell. It's smoking drum tobacco, Dutch tobacco, and I could smell it very, very strongly. It was almost as if he was stood next to me. Now, if that scent and smoke can carry, question mark, could the virus? Now, I'm not worried because I'm, 30 foot away? I don't know. And so far, I don't think any of the evidence has said that the virus can hang in the air that long. But I just found it interesting that the smell of that fag that he was smoking, and I sometimes get it also with other people who walk down here smoking other more exotic things, shall we say, and I can usually tell within a couple of strains what particular bud it is they've got. I can tell if it's a Thai or if it's a shitty skunk or a Sheffield Blues. But anyway, that was just a quick question I had for myself. Have opened this up. I can now get the thing in there. You know that because you saw the little last bit of video. I'm now sort of going through the making it all a little bit tidier and safer, and then I think we'll be done, and then we're going to have to clean it all out. Right, back soon. If you haven't seen one of these before, I got a couple of these. I bought one years ago, and then B&Q had this one on offer for something ridiculously cheap, like 15-20 quid. So I couldn't resist it, just had to have it. Slightly different shape, but this is the bit that matters. And really all this is a very small sanding belt, which then goes around a little rubber thing here off the motor, and throws this round, and it acts like a tiny little belt sander really, but it's called a power file, and it is absolutely blinding bit of kit for what it is. And it would have taken me all day to do this, but with the angle grinder took it right back actually to my line that I drew, so I wasn't that far out realistically. And all I've done now is run this around the inside to take all the swarthy bits off. Now I'm going to give it a very quick run around with sandpaper. I'm going to turn this upside down, shake all this out into canal. Don't want it down here because I don't want Marley stepping in little bits of swarf and stuff. Then I'm going to give it a wash out, and then kettle's done. Whoa! Marley, shut up! God almighty. What are you doing? No, he's not. Are you coming? What? There's no one here. I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm not. I'm talking into this. What, are you going to talk into this? Come here then. What? What? I was talking about you. Talking about you? Yes, what? Oh, you know it's nearly time for that 4-letter word, don't you? Yeah, that 4-letter word. Do we do that 4-letter word? Sure, gonna take you for a long 4-letter word. Right. Alright, listen, I never said all my videos were going to stay totally on topic. Right, I'm pleased with the way that's coming together. Alright, go then. I thought this was going to be a much harder job than it turned out to be. In fact, earlier, I was almost at the point of saying, sod it, wait until Simon's here next time. Simon's the best tool you could ever have around. Actually, well, no, that doesn't sound right, does it? Although I'm sure Dawn. Never mind. Forget I said all that. I could edit all that out, but I'm not going to. Simon's my mate, also known as the Duracell Kid, because he just can't fucking stop. When they come to visit, he's only been here about 5 minutes, and he's done about 10 fucking jobs. And which is good, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's good. I love him to bits, but it'd be nice to chill him out sometimes. Actually, we did once. They hate me adding this little story to the video. We did chill him out once in a certain way, and he ended up sleeping in the toilet on the floor for about 3 hours. On gin. Obviously, it was gin that did it. Oh God, this isn't going to be one of those. This isn't going to be one of those videos today that I'm going to be overly proud of when I look back at it in months to come. But I have achieved because I'm not, as you know, I'm not really that sort of practical. You'll see all these other videos on YouTube from people who are pretty good brewers. You know, there's like Harry Brew 69, which is Chris over in Retford, and my nemesis at the moment, a guy called Clive, whose eBay channel, YouTube channel is Norfolk Hillbilly, and Clive is responsible for me spending so much money on filtration and stuff. But yeah, they're practical kind of like guys. You know, I'm not. I'm a fucking scientist. Yeah, I can wield a good spreadsheet, but you know, other than that, yeah. So, I'm gonna get distracted by a pretty girl. Back soon when I've cleaned all this out and stared at the pretty girl. Enough. And there's the dust, or whatever you'd call the stuff that was in bottled kettle, now in canal, which is quite ironic really, because that's where this came from. In fact, all of my kegs down here that we use for flower pots and things, excuse me, that's not COVID-19, that's dust from here. All of these came out of canal, and because anything, well, right, I feel like I have to keep telling this story because I keep getting wankers say, oh, you shouldn't have those kegs. Right, here's the thing. Any waterway which is navigable by a seagoing vessel, which this canal is classed as a commercial waterway. Anything that goes in it and then comes out of it is classed as either industrial waste or commercial waste. Anything that's in it that I pull out is salvage, and because it's subject to international maritime law, people don't realise that, which is why loads of people who I know who live near canals are always pulling these out. Now originally, and I know I've said this a few times before, I'd phone them up, I'd phone the brewery up and say, oh, just pull one of your kegs out of the canal, and they go, what? I said, well, do you want it back? And they go, ooh, no, not if it's been in the canal. Now theoretically, I suppose they're right, because it's then classed as industrial waste, commercial waste, but they're bloody good from my point of view, because all of our planters, and you know, even the sign above the gate, which if you haven't seen, I'll show you. There's another one which we cut out here. This, only half of that keg was usable, the other half was smashed to bits. But if you haven't seen our sign over at gates, because this is the first couple of kegs that I poured out, and so I just chopped them up with plasma cutter. And alright, it's not the best of jobs, but I tell you what, people know it, know what the place is now. People know from that. So yeah, I think I still need. Now actually, that's all complete. That's all ready to go up, either on this side of the thing, so it can be seen from canal, or I might make something to go along the wall. Not sure yet. Good. This now needs washing out, so I'll use my CIP, give it all a good clean out, and then today's Friday. It's difficult to tell when you're on lockdown. Today's Friday, so that's my 2 weeks of my 12. I have donned. Sunday's looking to be a really good day, so I'm going to do an outdoor brew. We're going to get the little brewery out here, and we're going to do a canal side brew. I'm not sure what yet. I fancy doing something with Racal, because I've been drinking this thing from Saint Mars of the Desert Brewery called The Long Way Around, which was made with Citra and Racal. I'm really starting to get into Racal. Either that, or I'm gonna, because I still haven't done my little basic Czech Pilsner with Saz, and I've got plenty of Saz, and I've got all the malt that I need, basically just Pilsner malt. So I might do that, or I might do something completely different. I might do another New England IPA, again with those Racal. Now got plenty of Citra from Timmy Jenkins, got a Racal. Oh, do you know, I think I can feel a New England IPA coming on. The state of these windows. God, I don't know if I need cleaning. I'm completely unable to resist a pretty girl on a towpath. Right, fairly productive day. I've zoomed. Oh dear. So it used to be you'd only use Zoom for virtual dogging. I'm joking. Right, or am I? We have oh god, I better turn the RO off. We have sorted our, oh there we go, I can turn that off as well. Sorted our boil kettle. Fantastic. I'm so pleased with how easy that turned out to be. What else we did? I gave the mash tun a really good deep clean. You know, sometimes you get that tiny little bit of film that you can't shift, so I got rid of all that. I've bought, and from China, ordered I suppose, a load of more tri-clamp bits. I have a feeling that, can't really show you in situ, but this is quite heavy, and I'm a bit worried because this is quite heavy. When it's hanging off the tank like that, it's going to put an awful lot of strain on these ball valves. Now this is only kind of like held in with a nut on the other side, so I think to mitigate the risk I'm going to build some kind of, I've just dripped water all over that, you silly sod. I'm going to build some kind of bracket to help support it. Yes. Other than that, we're all good to go. Weekend brewing. Might do one tomorrow, definitely doing one Sunday out in the car park here, or yard, or whatever you want to call it, next to Canalia. Just set it up here. It's going to be a lovely day. Stay at home, folks. Do not be tempted to go walking in the park or in Derbyshire or wherever you happen to live in the countryside. The quicker this is over, the better for all of us, and it's only going to be over quickly if you stay at home. Right, that's probably about it then for me today. I will be popping a little video up at some point with a little quiz. I know, but I do think everybody who can do something silly like this at the moment should do, if only to ease the boredom a little bit for those who are getting a little bit kind of like cabin feverish. And I might be tempted to dress poor Delilah in something else, because she's been wearing that since Dawn and Simon got her that outfit. It's getting a little bit kind of worn now, so something for Delilah, a bracket for us filters. Going to get all the brewery set back up tomorrow, and I might have another little survey as to what recipe I should do next. Don't know. I think it's going to be a New England IPA, because the Czech Pilsner is a quick, easy single hop. Well, it's actually it's a smash, because it's just Pilsner malt and Saz hops. So I'll be doing that, but I'll clunk that out of the way. That's not a really interesting one to do for for making a video. So I think the video will be New England IPA, and we will try the new grain mill for the flaked oats that aren't flaked. Yesterday evening I was sat reading a book, as one does. Actually, it's that one. That one there. Or it might have been Water, I can't remember. One of those. Or it might have been one of those. I don't know. I was reading a book. And the reason I don't remember was because I got a text on my phone from Martha and Dan, our neighbours, the Brewery of Saint Mars of the Desert. And it just said, we've left you something by your door. And this is what they'd left me by my door. How sweet is that? Now, oh, they didn't have, I'm such a clumsy, they didn't have any of this left, and so they knocked a couple of cans together just for me. Isn't that, I mean, how lovely is that? Because this is my favourite at the moment. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to seeing whether it's still my favourite after these two new ones. So we've got Boscobel, which is a hazy pale, Citra and Amarillo. But what I'm actually quite looking forward to trying, in fact I'm going to start with this one, is Urchin. And it's a wheat beer, 4.6, so it's not a massive killer. But I love their artwork on these labels. And so we'll give this a blast first, because I was thinking of doing a Belgian kind of inspired brew. No, it says on it, it doesn't. Oh, hang on, there you go. Down there. No, it doesn't. Right, I'm going to give that a go anyway. Oh, the other thing I like about Saint Mars of the Desert, look, there's these recycled cardboard 6-pack holders that just dissolve into nothing. How brilliant is that? They are by miles the kind of epitome of responsible ethical business. I'll put a link to their online shop. It's tough times for everybody at the moment. Give your support for the Brewery of Saint Mars at the Desert by buying something from the link that I'll put on here or underneath. You know what I mean, right? Okay.